You almost walk past the raise, not the loud kind. No boss smiling across a desk, no email with congratulations in the subject line, no dramatic music, unless the break room refrigerator counts, and frankly, it is trying its best. It is your first day at the job. The badge still looks too clean. The coffee tastes like it came from a machine that has seen things. Your HR folder sits beside your elbow, while two coworkers talk about lunch like they already understand the building. The job pays $60,000 in our clean story. That sounds adult. It also sounds already claimed. Rent is waiting, groceries are waiting, gas, phone, insurance, the group chat, the random small expenses that travel in packs. So when the folder says retirement plan and employer match, your brain does not hear money. It hears homework. And that is the dangerous part. The money does not look like a raise yet. It looks like a beige packet you can finish later. Then, the first paycheck lands. For about 3 seconds, the phone notification feels amazing. You are employed. The universe has direct deposit. Civilization may continue. Then, the kitchen table starts taking attendance. Rent note, grocery receipt, phone bill, gas, a card balance you are pretending not to emotionally recognize. The benefits website says 6%. 6% looks tiny in an HR font. Then it becomes your 6%, and suddenly it has elbows. On a $60,000 salary, 6% is $3,600 a year. That is $300 a month. And $300 a month does not feel like future wealth when today is loud. It feels like groceries. It feels like a car repair. It feels like saying no to dinner again and pretending you wanted to stay home. So leaving the form for later feels reasonable. Not lazy, not stupid. Reasonable. The folder waits at the edge of the table, and future you waits behind it, very quietly hoping today you looks one line lower. A few days later, the folder comes back. You open it in the break room during lunch, because apparently adulthood is mostly eating from a container while decoding forms. There is a highlighter on the table. A coffee ring sits directly on the important line, because paper enjoys drama. The line says something like 50% match up to 6%. At first, it sounds like a sentence built by a committee. Then the meaning starts to get physical. If you put in part of your paycheck, the job puts in a piece too. Not because you worked extra hours. Not because you sold anything. Not because you became a finance person who says allocation at parties. Because the form has a line where future you can receive money from the job. The annoying part is that the money does not land in checking. It does not help lunch. It moves past the applause and heads straight for the older version of you, sitting somewhere in the distance, with the receipt. Back at the kitchen table, the benefits website stops being wallpaper. Your thumb drags the slider to 6%. The phone turns a vague future idea into a present number. $300 a month from you. That is the part you feel first. The rent note still sits there. The grocery receipt still has the emotional warmth of a parking ticket. The phone bill still looks like it was printed by someone who doesn't believe in mercy. So the first feeling is not victory, it is loss. You are choosing for money to leave before it reaches the place where life attacks it. That is why this choice is hard. The future benefit is quiet. The current squeeze is loud. Today has a microphone, and future you is speaking through a wall. But your thumb stays on the slider. The page asks you to confirm. For 1 second, the whole decision is sitting under your finger. Then the quiet piece appears. Your side says $300 a month. The job side adds $150 a month. Put together, $450 a month starts moving toward future you. This is where the feeling gets weird. Nothing new shows up in checking. No one from payroll bursts into the kitchen with balloons. Your bank app does not say, "Congratulations, your older self is slightly less doomed." The money skips the popularity contest. It doesn't buy lunch. It doesn't upgrade your phone. It doesn't make the weekend look richer from the outside. It simply goes where the form told it to go. And because it is quiet, your brain tries to demote it. But look at the receipt. $300 from you, $150 from work, $450 total. The job just paid someone you haven't become yet. And all you did was stop leaving the line blank. A year passes, and nobody at work treats you like a genius. Very rude of reality. The same break room table is still there. Somebody shows off a new phone. Somebody describes weekend plans like they came with a trailer. Your old HR folder sits in a drawer, doing absolutely nothing for your social status. But behind the boring, the paycheck split keeps happening. $300 a month from you, $150 a month from work, $450 a month total. Over a year, that is $3,600 from you and $1,800 from the job. $5,400 going toward future you. It does not make your lunch better. It does not make your outfit look intentional. It does not give you a better answer when someone asks what you did this weekend. But the habit is no longer a form. It is a small machine running quietly under the paycheck. And quiet machines are easy to underestimate until they have been running for years. Around year 5, you open a kitchen drawer looking for something else. That is where old papers live now. Manuals for things you no longer own. Batteries that may or may not be batteries. A pen that works only when threatened. And there it is, the old benefits folder. One page still looks like the version you almost became. Blank line, later, not now. The account statement on your phone says about $32,200 in the 7% path. Not freedom, not rich, not even enough to make groceries stop acting mysterious. But enough to make the old folder look different. 5 years ago, it looked like homework. Now it looks like a fork in the road that sat quietly in your hand. The number is still young. It can still feel small compared with life. But it is real enough to make one thought uncomfortable. By year 10, life has not become a smooth commercial with white couches. There is still a repair bill on the table. The coffee still tastes like a budget meeting. The week still has opinions. But next to the bill is an account statement. About $77,900 in the 7% path. That number does not fix the repair bill, but it changes the way the room feels. The old you might have looked at the benefits form and seen a sacrifice. The current you can see a receipt. 10 years of the $450 monthly stream showing up. 10 years of the job's $150 piece joining your $300 piece. 10 years of future you getting paid before the money walked into the normal chaos of checking. The habit is still boring. Good. Boring is what allowed it to survive the weeks when motivation had absolutely left the building. Now the match is no longer a sentence in a packet. At year 20, the home office is quiet in a way that feels earned. The work laptop is closed, the desk lamp is on. The family calendar is doing its best impression of airport traffic control. The old HR envelope has somehow survived moves, drawers, and one dramatic weekend where you claimed you were finally getting organized. The account statement says about $234,400 in the 7% path. Now future you is harder to treat like a cartoon. Future you has a chair at the table, not a throne. This is stick finance, not stick royalty, but a chair. The money did not arrive because you felt inspired every month. It arrived because the paycheck setting kept doing the quiet thing. You still work. You still have bills. You still live in a world where one appliance can develop an attitude. But older you is no longer walking toward the future empty-handed. The form from day one has become a person in the room. Year 35 arrives without asking permission. The kitchen is quieter now. The phone is older. The badge has scratches. The benefits folder looks like a tiny museum exhibit from a decision nobody applauded. Older you opens the account receipt. About $810,500 in the 7% path. You can almost hear day one you arguing from the break room, but I needed the 300. And day one you was not wrong to feel that squeeze. That is why the receipt matters. It does not mock the younger version of you. It thanks them. Because the $450 monthly stream was not one heroic decision. It was a small decision protected long enough to become large. $300 from you, $150 from work, month after month. Older you does not remember the form as exciting. Older you remembers that the line stayed filled in. Some money never announces itself as a raise. It just waits for time to reveal what you took. Now, split the receipt. One strip is your contributions. The other strip is the employer match. That second strip deserves its own moment because it changes the emotional math. $150 a month from the job. In the 35-year, 7% path, that match-only stream becomes about $270,200. That part did not come from overtime. It did not come from a side hustle with a ring light and the confidence of a man selling spreadsheets at midnight. It came from not leaving the match line blank when the match existed. That is why the phrase hidden raise works. Not because the money is magical, not because every job offers it, because when it is there, the money can be real before it ever feels real. It is easy to ignore a benefit that never passes through checking. But older you does not care whether the money felt exciting. Older you cares that it arrived. Then you lay out 3 receipts. Not because the future is neat, because hope needs edges. At $450 a month for 35 years, the 5% path shows about $511,200. The 7% path shows about $810,500. The 10% path shows about $1.71 million. Those receipts do not move in a straight line in real life. Markets wobble, jobs change, plans have rules, fees matter. People pause, restart, increase, decrease, and sometimes need the paycheck for more urgent things. But the table still tells the truth that matters for this story. The exact ending number can move. The missed match problem is still real. If your workplace offers a match and you never check the line, you may be letting quiet money sit outside the door while you wait for a louder raise. The range does not make the decision perfect. It makes the decision visible. If you skipped the form before, this is the evening shame tries to enter wearing a little badge. Do not give it a chair. You are at the kitchen table, dinner plate nearby, password reset email open, because the benefits site has apparently never met you before. The 6% slider waits like it knows you are suspicious. The move is not to become a new person by midnight. The move is to check the actual line. Is there a match? What formula? Is there a waiting period? A vesting rule? Fees? Investment choices? A lower amount you can start with while you work toward the full match? Maybe your job has no match. Maybe your budget is too tight tonight, and keeping the lights on wins. That is real life, not failure. But if the line is there, the next paycheck is a door. Not a sermon, not a magic portal. A door. Future you does not need you to feel rich before you turn the handle. Back in the break room, the same folder is closed now. Your badge has scratches. The coffee still has crimes to answer for. But the paycheck receipt finally looks less like a mystery and more like a choice you can see. In our story, $300 a month from you unlocked $150 a month from work. $450 a month started moving toward future you. After 35 years in the 7% path, that stream became about $810,500, with about $270,200 coming from the match-only strip. The truth is sitting on the table, but you do not have to make it fancy. Call it a folder, call it a line, call it the raise that didn't know how to introduce itself. Before the next lifestyle upgrade gets a vote, check whether future you is already being offered money. Start, increase, or confirm what actually fits your life. Comment the match that would make you check your benefits today. And if you want more money stories that make future you harder to ignore, like this video and subscribe to Stick Finance.